What's up YouTube, it's Zapdos TCG here and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. Today we have Destined Rivals up on the menu. We're gonna be taking a look at the best cards from the set. Japan has already play tested with these cards for a couple of weeks, so we know exactly which cards are good. And and just in time for your couple of pre-releases that you're attending, so you know exactly which cards you are hyped for to pull. And also the cards that are not mentioned here, some of them I might exclude from the list because I personally think they are not good. But if you do think they are good, let me know down below in the comment section which cards you would add. In total, I have about 36 cards I'm going to be talking about in full detail here, and they're also not ranked from like 36 all the way to the number 1. These are all grouped together because this set comes back with more owners Pokemon. Team Rocket returns here, as well as owners Pokemon like Eatons Typhlosion, for example, Marnie's Grimmsnarl, Cynthia's Garchomp EX. So most of these are grouped together because decks will be made around the cards that group together. With that being said, let's start off with this first slide here, and that's going to be the Team Rocket engine. Very, very powerful because Team Rocket now comes back with Team Rocket's receiver. You can search your deck for a Team Rocket supporter instantly. So who knows? Whoever thought about this? This is going to be very, very consistent. Think about like decks playing Pokegear right now. Half of the time they don't get the supporter they want. Well, with Team Rocket's receiver, you know exactly what you're getting. The cool thing is that there's going to be very, very powerful Team Rocket supporters that only work with Team Rocket's Pokemon, so let's take a look at them. First of all, we have Team Rocket's Giovanni, aka Guzma. If you remember Guzma from Burning Shadows, it's exactly that, but you switch around to your Team Rocket's bench Pokemon. So pretty much you have Boss's Orders and Switch all grouped into one supporter, and the thing is you can only use it if you can switch to a Team Rocket's Pokemon on the bench. So a Team Rocket's Pokemon on the bench goes to the active position, and then you have Boss's Orders. So pretty much Guzma is back, and that's very strong. You can no longer get trapped in the active position with all those corner situations happening left and right. You now have also a very easy searchable way to get Boss's Orders because Team Rocket's receiver can find Team Rocket's Giovanni for game. How powerful is that? Next is Team Rocket's Petrel, allowing you to get a trainer card from the deck. You might think, ooh, that doesn't seem good, but you can get, of course, any trainer. That means stadiums, tool cards, items, whatever you feel like. Even a supporter for next turn is also a possibility. And with Team Rocket's receiver, finding something like a Team Rocket's Petrel, I could see TM Evo being worked out in Team Rocket decks as well. Team Rocket's Ariana allows you to draw until you have 5 cards in hand. But if all of your Pokemon are actually Team Rocket's Pokemon, you can draw cards until you have 8. So a very, very strong draw supporter. If you're playing a lot of cards, insta-playable cards, 10 out your hand, you can draw until you have 8 cards in hand. Very, very good. So you have a draw supporter, no need for Professor's Research any longer. You have a gusting option with Team Rocket's Giovanni, so no need for Boss's Orders. And there's also Team Rocket's Archer. You can only play this card if one of your Team Rocket's Pokemon was knocked out during the opponent's last turn. And each player shuffles their hand into their deck, and then you actually get 5 cards and the opponent only gets 3. So pretty much like the old school Marnie back in the day, pushing the opponent down to a low hand size is very good. So now you have your Iono replacement and Team Rocket's Archer, your draw supporter in the replacement of Professor's Research in the form of Team Rocket's Ariana, and your gusting replacement in the form of Team Rocket's Giovanni. All of these cards very, very good because they're searchable with Team Rocket's receiver. I would see like decks with Team Rocket playing 4 copies of Team Rocket's receiver. That means their decks are very consistent because the item can search out the supporter you actually want. Very good indeed. We're going to be talking about the most powerful Team Rocket's Pokemon very shortly, but let's take a look at the rest of the things that we have up on the menu. We have Team Rocket's Great Ball, or as I like to call it, Team Rocket's Capturing Aroma, because you can flip a coin. If heads, you can search your deck for an Evolution Team Rocket's Pokemon. If tails, you can search your deck for a basic Team Rocket's Pokemon. So pretty much Capturing Aroma, but then for Team Rocket's Pokemon. Team Rocket's Venture Bomb is actually very good, but not only in Team Rocket based decks, it's going to be very good in other decks as well. You flip a coin. If heads, you put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If tails, you put 2 damage counters on your active Pokemon. This is so good with stuff like Munkidori. This automatically gives yourself the additional damage output because you flip a coin, you don't even care if it's heads or tails because Munkidori will place that damage onto your opponent regardless. If you play 4 of these at the same time, you can even have additional ways to donk, so that could be very funky as well. Maybe you're playing Brute Bonnet with Poison and 4 Team Rocket's Venture Bombs, 4 Paralysis Jungles and all that. could be very nasty, but I could see this card being played in decks that lack the damage output. For example, an Archelodon EX only slaps 220, but sometimes does want to hit that 230 number, and that's where Team Rocket's Venture Bomb comes into play. You can combine that with stuff like the team, with the Karate Belt as well, the Black Belt, to hit even bigger numbers. So this is going to be quite the card you need to just buff up your damage output. Then we have Team Rocket's Proton. This actually is also a very cool card. You may, actually, if you don't know what the Proton does, let me just enlighten you. It's one of those cards that you might think at first glance, what is it doing? Well, you may search this card on your first turn, just like a Carmine. Search your deck for 3 basic Team Rocket's Pokemon, reveal them and put them in hand. So it doesn't matter if you go first or second, you can always use this card, which is the same thing like a Carmine. That means you always have setup, definitely because it's searchable with Team Rocket's receiver. And that's why I personally feel that Team Rocket's engine is one of the strongest engines out there, because you can set up with Proton, you can gust with the Team Rocket's Giovanni, you can have some TM Evo strategies with the Petrel, you can go for draw power with Ariana, and with the Archer, you can push the opponent down to a low hand size. So all that grouped together makes the Team Rocket engine, for me personally, one of the strongest I've seen. And then there's more. We have Team Rocket's Factory. Once during each player's turn, if that player has played a Team Rocket supporter, you can actually draw 2 cards, and at any given point you can activate that. So for me personally, that feels a little bit broken. So that means you can play a Team Rocket supporter, and then maybe draw some cards with something like the Ariana, and then decide, oh, I want to draw further. Or maybe you just play some cards first to reshuffle your deck and then draw 2 cards. So once during each player's turn, if that player has played a Team Rocket supporter, they may draw 2 cards. I think that's also not how it works. The official ruling will need to clarify how this actually works. I think you play it down, and then the choice is there when you want to be drawing those 2 cards. But the cool thing is, if you're drawing a lot of cards, you have more options. So you might think, oh, I want to have more draw power. It is not going to be the same thing like, I think it's also nice that you can have like a shuffle supporter and then use the Team Rocket to draw even further. So draw power in an item, we've seen it before with like Heat Factory and all that stuff. It is always great to draw cards. Moving forward, we have here the Team Rocket's Watchtower, and that's going to be a very powerful one. Both players' Carlos Pokemon have no abilities. No abilities whatsoever. This actually means that we can finally shut down Noctowl engines, we can shut down Squawkabilly, we can shut down Pidgeot EX, and we can now attack with Slacking EX. That's a little bonus as well, but this is very powerful. Let's be honest here. The most consistent engines out there are Noctowl-based decks. In the Raging Bull deck, in the Terra Box deck, and like the Evolution Box deck. There's like a lot of decks relying on these Noctowls. Also Pidgeot EX, a very staple Pokemon in the format, allowing you to get any card you want. You can finally shut that down. And this also means that stuff like Iono becomes way more powerful, because you can now Iono in combination with Team Rocket's Watchtower, and that means, oh, the opponent draws a Noctowl, well, forget about it. Oh, the opponent has a Pidgeot EX on board, I cannot do anything. Well, now you can. Team Rocket's Watchtower, one of the strongest stadiums, definitely for this format. There's a lot of more usage. You can just lock off Fan Rotoms, you can lock off Dittos, you can shut down, as mentioned, the Slacking if you want to be making that deck, but there's a lot of Carlos Pokemon in the format right now that you can shut down. You can even shut down Blizzy EX if it ever rises to fame again. So very, very strong stuff here. So 2 very powerful stadiums for Team Rocket, and lots of supporters, cool items as well. So this is going to be the cards you definitely need from Destined Rivals. Talking about the Pokemon now, we have Rocket's Mewtwo EX. Tord Reckless, actually one of the best players in the world, played this at Champions League over in Japan. And the thing here is that Rocket's Mewtwo is actually pretty good. It comes back with 200 HP, the highest HP we've seen on a basic EX. It's like a tag team in my opinion. And it only gives up 2 prizes. This Pokemon can't attack unless you have 4 or more Rocket's Pokemon in play. Easy thing to do with the Team Rocket's Proton, being able to get all your Pokemon out from the get-go. There is also its attack, the Deletion Sphere, 160, and you may discard up to 2 basic energy from your bench Pokemon. This attack does 60 damage for every energy card discarded this way. So pretty much you can get a crazy 280 damage output. You can buff up with the Team Rocket's bombs. You can have Maximum Belt as your A-Spec card. And there is, of course, a lot of Pokemon already having 280 HP. Think about something like an Zoroark EX, for example. So a strong attack, and you might think, how do we power this up? Well, the good news is we're going to be getting a special energy, which counts as a Darkness and a Psychic energy all together. So it's pretty much a DCE, but it's going to be helping Team Rocket's Pokemon out. We're going to be talking about that later. So with 2 attachments, you can get yourself going, and you're going to be pairing that up with Rocket's Spidops. Charge up, pretty much like Naganadel back in the day. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic energy from the discard pile to this Pokemon. So not only is this cool because this allows you to actually attack with Rocket's Spidops as well. 30 damage for every one of your Team Rocket's Pokemon in play. So with 6 of them in play, you have 180, which means you can deal with stuff like, I would say, Charizard EX and Zoroark EX, Hydreigon EX, even if you see any of those, that's actually very good. We have, of course, the way it charges up means you can get attacks with Rocket's Mewtwo back-to-back, which is very good. Having access to a 280 HP Pokemon, being able to slap 280 damage, having a very solid one-price Pokemon, means that the Team Rocket deck will at one point succeed if we can find the exact build. You also have a Rocket's Mewtwo, which can actually copy-paste the active Stera Pokemon's attack. You don't even need their necessary energy. So with just one attachment, that Team Rocket's energy, by the way, can help fuel the attack cost of the Mimikyu. You can copy-paste the Terra Pokemon's attack. I don't know if there's any Terra Pokemon attack you want to copy-paste. Maybe a Wellspring Ogerpon to just get some sniping capabilities going. Maybe you're copy-pasting the one from Terrapagos. Maybe you're even copy-pasting Charizard. You never know. Then there's Rocket's Articuno. Prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks done to your Team Rocket's Pokemon in play. Very, very good because this shuts down the side effect of Phantom Dive of a Dracopult EX, for example. So all the effects, energy disruption with an attack form, paralyzation as a side effect. All the side effects shut down by Rocket's Articuno. Very strong indeed. And then we have Rocket's Wobbuffet with the Rocket Mirror, actually allowing you to move all the damage counters from one of your benched Team Rocket's Pokemon and to your opponent's active Pokemon. So not only can you heal off your complete, very high HP Rocket's Mewtwo EX, maybe you even have a Bravery Charm onto it, you can push all the damage that you have all the way onto your opponent's active, healing and attacking at the same time. Very strong in my book. So those are the strongest Team Rocket's Pokemon I could find. But there's also some fringe ones. You can also rogue Pokemon cards you actually want to be using sometimes. And that's going to be these that are on the screen right now. First of all, it's Rocket's Crobat EX with the Bite Around. You evolve into it and you may put 2 damage counters to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So damage spread all around. It sounds super cool, right? And also with the Rocket's Golbat, the Sneaky Bite, you evolve into it and you put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So lots of damage spread in this format currently. So you might even think, oh, I'm going to be pairing this up with more damage spread with stuff like Froslass, but the better thing would be to have a very consistent deck where you just go attack with the Rocket's Crobat EX, which actually slaps 120 damage. You can then put this Pokemon and all the cards back into your hand. Actually, now, discard all the cards attached, but you can put the Pokemon, the entire evolution line back into your deck, evolve again, spread some more damage, all that good stuff. So I wonder if people will actually test out Rocket's Crobat EX in specific other archetypes just to have that additional damage output. Then there's also the Rocket's Porygon Z. Once during your turn, you can actually discard 2 cards from your hand and then draw a card. You might think, why do we want to be discarding 2 cards? Pretty much like Galarian Articuno V back in the day. But this actually helps with discard synergy. And sometimes you do need discard synergy with the attack that it comes back with. The Control R. 20 damage for each supporter in your discard pile with Team Rocket in its name. So that's going to be very, very powerful because, as you saw, there's a lot of Team Rocket supporters out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. If you have 5 of them, if you count times 4, that's 20 of them. If you have 20 of them in the discard pile, you slap 400 damage. I know. And you can, of course, attack with the Team Rocket's energy, which we're going to be talking about very shortly. So that could also become quite the rogue deck. Then there's Rocket's Wheezing with the Exploding Mop, 40 damage for each Pokemon in play with coughing or wheezing in its name. So technically, you can be playing 4 Rocket's Coughing and then also 4 regular Coughing. That means you have 8 of them in total, and that's going to be a whopping 320 damage if you are able to get a full Rockets and Weezing shenanigans going. The problem is sometimes your prize cards could be against you, but it's a one prize Pokemon that can slap huge damage. And the cool thing is, if Rocket's Coughing is knocked out by damage from the opponent's Pokemon, you're actually able to search your deck for 2 Pokemon with Coughing and put them onto your bench. This is a very, very good thing because that means on coming into your turn again, you can instantly start evolving them. So I like this Coughing strategy as well. Alright, next up, we're going to be talking about Eatons Pokemon, also grouped together here. The most powerful one is Eatons Typhlosion, being paired up as its own deck, sometimes being paired up with Goldango EX even, and sometimes even with Dracopult EX. It's kind of crazy because it's all coming packed together with the Buddy Blast, 40 damage plus 60 more for every Eatons Adventure card in your discard pile. If you have 4 of them in your discard pile, that's going to be adding up to quite the ridiculous amount of damage. It's going to be 60 more for every one of them. So if you have 4 of them, that's 240, meaning for one single energy, you can slap 280 damage output. With Eatons Adventure, you can actually search in any combination of Eatons Pokemon and basic fire energy cards, reveal them to your opponent, and put them in hand. So the cool thing also is that Eatons Quilava, the stage 1 from the Typhlosion line, comes packed with an ability. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for an Eatons Adventure card and put it in hand. This is also for every Eatons Quilava you have. So technically, you can be playing something like, for example, TM Evo, get the Eatons Quilavas, get all the Eatons cards, and by turn 2 or 3, you're slapping 280. Very strong in my book, as mentioned, sometimes paired up with Goldango as an alternate attacker to stuff like to deal with stuff like Cornerstone, for example, and stuff. Here we have Eatons Macargo as well, coming back with the Lava Burst, 70 damage, and you may discard up to 5 basic fire energies from this Pokemon. This attack does 70 damage for each card you discarded in this way. So pretty much 350 damage output if you can get 5 energies discarded. You might think, how do we get this going? Well, glad you asked. We're going to be pairing that up with the Eatons Ho-Oh EX with the Golden Flame. Once during your turn, you may attach 2 basic fire energy from your discard pile to one of your benched Eatons Pokemon. So it can also accelerate to itself, by the way, and that could be meaning that you can, if you have 2 of these out, Macargo can slap 350 time and time again, which is crazy to think about. Also, Eatons Ho-Oh EX can also be paired up with Raging Bolt as another way you can get a lot of energies into play time and time again. You use Bellowing Thunder, discard the energies then from the Eatons Ho-Oh EX, and next turn they're actually back. So that's cool as well, Eatons Pokemon. Next up is going to be Marnie Grimmsnarl EX. You might think this deck is not that powerful, but combined with stuff like Froslass, it is actually very scary with a lot of spread mechanics going around with it. So when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you can actually search your deck for 5 basic Darkness energies and attach them to your Marnie's Pokemon in any way you like. The cool news is that because you're playing a lot of Darkness type Pokemon, you can also actually Darkness type energies. You can also start playing some Munkidoris in the list in combination with Froslass. So Froslass, Munkidori in combination with Marnie's Grimmsnarl could be great because the Shadow Bullet slaps 180 damage. And this attack also does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And that's going to be very powerful because 30 damage in combination with a Munkidori Snipe, or actually damage from yourself onto the opponent in combination with Froslass can dish out a lot of, can actually knock out a lot of Pokemon, by the way. So we'll see how this actually goes. Spike Muff Gem also allows you to get, a Marnie's Pokemon instantly from the deck, so that's very good for consistency. And there's a Marnie's Morpeko slapping 20 damage plus 40 more for every Darkness energy attached to this Pokemon. So imagine you set up a Grimmsnarl and an attach of turn that's like 6 energies onto this guy, and that is actually meaning this guy slaps 260 or something. It's kind of crazy for a one price Pokemon for sure. Okay, continuing on, we have Cynthia's Garchomp. Also a cool looking Pokemon that sometimes sees some mediocre success, but mostly because it has high HP. 330 HP, and with the Cynthia's Power Weight, you actually get 70 additional HP, putting yourself to 400 HP, which is kind of nuts. With stuff like, Professor Turo in the format, you can have some looping strategies, and also you might just take the 2-shot onto Garchomp because it can attack time and time again. Its first attack, Corkscrew Dive, slaps 100 damage, and you may draw cards until you have 6 cards in hand, similar to the return attack of a Blizzy EX, which is good. You always get a fresh hand, which is awesome. And then the Dragon Blaster slaps 260. You might wonder, 260, that's an awkward number, and that's where Cynthia's Rose Rate comes into effect. For every Cynthia's Roserade you have in play, you slap 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon with your Cynthia's Pokemon. That means Corkscrew Drive slaps 130 and Dragon Blaster 290. But if you have two Cynthia's Roserade out, that can hit to ridiculous numbers, like for example 320 damage output, enough to even knock out a Dragapult EX. Cynthia's Spiritomb is also a very interesting Pokemon. It has got the attack Raging Curse. This attack does 10 damage for each damage counter on your bench Cynthia's Pokemon. So that is interesting because let's say something slaps you for like, I would say 200 damage. The Cynthia can attack for just one energy, slapping 200 damage, which is crazy if you're able to retreat to the bench. And because you're having free retreat, that's always a possibility. And then the last couple of cards that I want to give some shine upon is like some good grass-type Pokemon. It's been a while since we've seen some good grass-type Pokemon. Shaymin is here as a Manaphy successor. It has 80 HP, meaning it is not searchable with Buddy Buddy Puffin, but it actually protects your your non-rule box Pokemon from damage done to them on the bench. So that's very good to protect your weak little Ralts, Dreepies, or any deck that has a little bit of a slower setup. So Shaymin returns and has bench protection, which means Wellspring Ogerpon will be nerfed quite ridiculously, and Zoroark with the Darmanitan, and Darmanitan will be nerfed quite significantly with the introduction of Shaymin. Crustle is here as a new Mimikyu, but way tankier, 150 HP. This is being paired up with the Wall Box deck. Think about Fairy Giraffe, Milotic. This is also a new one of the puzzle pieces, having a lot of HP. Thinking about a Luxury Escape, pushing this to 250 HP, and EXs cannot touch it whatsoever. Seems very good. It also comes back with the Great Scissor attack, 120 damage, and you can hit through anything, any effects as well. So that's kind of cool. You can power it up with stuff like Crispin, or you can go with the Yanmega EX, which actually is very good. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from the bench to the active position, you may search your deck for 3 basic grass energies and accelerate them to this Pokemon. And if you attack with the Jet Cyclone, you can move the 3 energies to a Pokemon on the bench, which means Yanmega EX and Crustle go a little bit hand in hand if you don't want to be going for the Crispin strategy or the TM Energize. So for me, these are all the most important cards from Destined Rivals. Maybe you are a fan of Sea Titan EX or any other Pokemon. Maybe you're a fan of the Misty cards, but those have not seen any success whatsoever in the competitive scene over in Japan. So these are all the cards that I currently wanted to talk about. So let me know down below in the comment section what your favorite card from Destined Rivals is that you are personally looking forward to. If I had to take a look at all of these cards, for me, it personally would be Eatons Typhlosion, because I'm a very big fan of a one-prizer that can dish out ridiculous amounts of damage, as you all know. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It takes 1 tiny second every time and helps out the channel tremendously. Yeah, you guys are heroes for doing that. And also go check out the sponsors. They make the videos possible. Level up your game with TC Evolutions. Breathtaking damage counters, special condition tokens, and ability markers. Precision, style, power. Use coupon ZapdosTCG for 10% off only at TC Evolutions. Also, go check out DragonShield.com for your sleeves, binders, and deck boxes. You can get 5% off on everything on the website using the coupon ZapDos5. PokemonStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. You can get them with instant email delivery. So spice up your TCG Live account today with alt arts and all the good stuff and get 5% off. Cardmarket.com for European players. You can actually buy and sell cards to people all across Europe, so definitely try it out for yourself. You can use the referral name ZapdosTCG to even help support the channel further. Thank you all very much for watching today's upload. It has, I'm very excited for these. The pre-releases are going to be starting very shortly, so let me know what your favorite poll is if you're watching this in the future, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys then. Peace.